Hello everybody and welcome to the next lecture where we're going to review events in NativeScript. Now in that case I prepare you some demo where now we're going to make an overview how the things are working, and then you're going to receive the source code and you can do it and check it on your side as well. So initially what we can see is that we have a folder app where is our actual application. Now we have the normal stuff that we are familiar with: app resources, styles, views, app.js, package.js, references, JS hint, TRC, and package.json. Now the interesting folder with us will be for views because there is actually our code. So let's open it. In views we have two different. We have main view and we have next view as well. Now we're going to start reviewing them and the source code and see what it's actually doing. When I expand main, I can see that I have my main view model, main.js, and the front-end XML part. So let's first open main view model.js and review it. So what we're doing, first we're having to use strict because this will allow us to follow the best practices using JavaScript and will let us know if we're doing something wrong. Then we're including observable module, after that observable array, and moment as well. After that we have a class hello world which extends, so hello world module actually inherit observable, which is coming from observable module. Then we're having a constructor. Inside this constructor we're calling super, which will call the constructor of parent class, and the parent or base class will be observable's constructor. Then we're setting these .items to be equal to new observable empty array. Then we have two functions. The first function is addItem and the second one is addItem tabbed. When we're calling addItem, what will happen? Well, we're going to access the array from items, which again I'm reminding that's observable array, and we're going to push new element. This new object will have a property time, and this will be moment.format. We'll get the current time and format it in hours, minutes, and seconds, that format. After that, I'm going to say console.dir with this element. So when I add it, I expect to have it inside the array, and after that to walk the whole array to see that. When I say item tab, here we receive some arguments, and basically what we're saying is these items splice from that index and 1. After that, from this JS file, what we're exporting? Well, we're exporting our hello world model, which is the class, and after that the main view model, which is the new class, actually new instance of that class, so the object of the class. After that, let's take a look at main.js. So what we're doing in main.js, first again, of course, we're having use strict. You should if you're not already, then you should get used to doing that because it's not only for TypeScript, it's a general concept. If you want to code JavaScript and do it in a better way, then just import it. Then here, what we're doing, first we're importing our main view model over which we just take a look and name it VM module. Then we're importing the module with view, again the moment, and we're declaring page variable. So what we're having now, first we have a function page loaded, which is receiving arguments. And what are we saying here? Well, actually we're setting the view model to the current binding context. Then we're saying exports.onItem tabbed, so we're exporting onItem tabbed function which receive arguments. And when you call it, we're going to say console.dir new date. Then I'm exporting page loaded and I'm trying to export this function. And the next thing is I'm creating new frame module where I require the frame. Here I'm exporting another function, and inside this function it's called on go to next tab. The point of it is to redirect us from main page to next page. How I'm going to do that? I'm saying let topmost equals frame module.topmost, so I'm getting the topmost element, and then I'm just navigating by saying topmost.navigate to this. This will path us to views, then going inside next folder and opening next. The next thing that we're going to take a look at is main.xml. What we have inside main.xml, we have our page. And when it's loaded, we're going to call the page loaded function, which we just declared here. So we're going to call this function and set the binding context. Then we have stack layout, and I have a button go to next, which is calling, when you tap it, it will call the function on go to next tab, which will redirect to this page. The second one is tab from VM, where I'm binding it to add item. After that, I have a list view where I'm displaying all items, and I'm saying when I tap it, I would like to call on item tapped function. Then I have list view item template, and here inside it, for each how I would like to display each element of that list view, well, I have a stack layout, and I would like to create label and display the time. Alright, so let's see, after we go to next tab, let's see what we have here. So inside next folder we have next.js and next.xml. What is next.xml? Well, here we have the page. When it's loaded, we're calling the function page loaded. We're going to see what it's doing when we step to JavaScript code. And on unloaded, we have a function page unloaded. Then inside it, we have a label with text next page. And again, when I loaded it, I'm going to call the function label loaded. On unloaded label, I'm going to refer to that function label unloaded. Let's take a look now at these four functions. So I'm opening next.js. What we're doing here, again, use script. So I'm having two functions, which after that I'm exporting. And here, with the other way, I'm exporting the rest two functions. So now let's take a look one by one. When the page is initially loaded, first I'm going to walk on my console this text next is loaded. And then I'm going to say let page equals arguments.object. So I'm going to pass the value. When I unload the page, I'm just going to console.walk next is unloaded. Let's review the functions. So when the label is loaded, I'm going to console.walk that, and after that I'm going to have console.walk on unloaded. Pretty much that's the whole code that we had. So we have next, we have main, two pages. And the point was basically here, one of the most important things that you should remember from this is how we're doing that kind of events. So let's go once again through it. I have a button, and this button has attribute which is tap, which means when I tap this button, I would like to execute this function. And in our case, the function, what it's doing, well, it is just redirecting to the next page, which is next. Thank you very much for watching, and keep going.